Just want to welcome everyone. And just say thank you guys for all joining. For the most part, if we're doing this on a weekly basis, eventually I would like you to join with me. Okay, so this is a group thing and we're kind of communal. So we want to do this kind of together. It's okay if not many people want to do it right now. Okay, I am going to do a lot of the movements. These are transferable. You can do these on a daily basis. This is nothing super strenuous. Okay, we're mainly trying to just work on your mobility, flexibility, okay, and just overall body function. Okay, we're not doing no crazy strength training. I'm not going to make you get down into a push-up position or anything like that. Since we are doing a walkathon, our main goal is just getting mobile through our core, hips, shoulders, and knees and ankles. Okay, so we're doing a lot of stuff that way. Like when you're doing your walks and you're doing your cardio, whatever, we avoid a lot of aches and pains. Okay, so if you are doing it, it's okay if you don't want to show your face. Okay, I would like you to join, stand up. Okay, the really only space you're going to need is maybe just like a 6x6 square. Okay, you don't need a big space. Maybe using something like a chair or a bench to do other stuff with is good too. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a lot of stuff is going to be in a time interval. Okay, not really a rep set. Okay, we're going to do these in time. Okay, for the most part, things are going to be done in like 30 seconds or to a minute. Okay, and since we are doing kind of like dynamic movements here, just make sure if you're doing socks and stuff, make sure you're on carpet, not on hardwood. If you can do that, if you're in a garage, maybe have like some kind of exercise mat with you. That would also be beneficial. Okay. Other than that, we are going to get started here. And I have a little bit of music going on in my background. For me personally, when I do workouts and walking and things like that, I always like to use music. It can be whatever music you want. You probably won't hear it through my speakers here, but if you have it on your own, go ahead, feel free and get it going. Okay. The last thing is if you do have a water is going to be crucial. Okay. This is one of the main elements of life. We want to make sure we're drinking plenty of water a day. We're looking, the person should drink at least 2.2 liters 2.2 liters daily. Okay, so that's not even including the water you usually drink during your exercising. Okay, that would include extra water. Okay, making sure we stay hydrated. You would be surprised on how many people are actually not hydrated and they're dehydrated. Okay, with a lot of the sodium and salt levels in our foods and stuff, that's going to cause us to get dehydrated. Those people who go out on the weekends or drink or whatever it may be, that will also cause dehydration. So just make sure during this whole process, drink plenty of water. Okay, so if you're ready to get going, okay, I'm ready to get going. So if you have your space, go ahead, stand on up. The first thing we're going to start with is some high knees. Okay, so basic thing, we're just going to try to just focus on driving those knees up nice and high. Okay, if you can't get them that high, that's okay. I would like those arms incorporated with it. Okay, so if you're able to do this, go ahead, find your space. If you don't want to put yourself on camera, that's totally fine. But eventually I would like everyone to be confident and feel comfortable in this community to where you guys can show each other and just show a little bit of accountability for each other. Okay, we are doing this for about a minute. You are going to probably feel a little bit of a burn in the upper thigh area. Okay, as we're just getting it moving. Okay, there we go. Good. So as we're doing this, I just want you to just focus in on kind of the motion. Okay, a couple more seconds. If you start feeling a little bit of a burn, you can bring that knees down, but really try to drive it up best you can. And relax there. Good. Shake it out. Shake it out. Next thing we're going to do is a heel tap. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side to just show you. Okay, you don't have to turn to the side. All we're going to do is I'm going to have my hands back here and I'm going to try to just touch my heel. Okay, If it's hard to touch the heel, that's okay. You know, try your best to get that heel to touch. I just don't want you to be reaching. Okay, don't feel like you have to reach back or reach to the side. Just try your best, standing nice and upright.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു I think we might have lost.
Yeah, I think we lost him for a little bit. Okay, no worries. We'll just wait until he comes back.
Yeah.
പഴയൊരു ഇതുണ്ടല്ലോ, ഒരു പടം ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, one where they're making chicken curry.
Yeah. Noble. Yeah.
Welcome back, Noble.
I'm back. Sorry.
No worries.
So we're gonna keep it, finishing it out, maybe like another 10 to 15 seconds here. Hopefully everyone can see me. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I'm out of my garage, so my internet might be a little bit unstable. Okay, so our next movement, okay, is going to be kind of like a lunge forward. And what we're going to do is we're going to step forward and then just bring our hands up, step back, and we're going to switch legs. Okay, so 1 foot, boom, stepping up, switching back, other leg. So what I'm going to do, focus on, is I'm going to drive my hip forward, trying to feel a stretch in this hip, okay? Trying to open up that hip. You're going to feel some tightness there. That's okay. We're trying to open up our bodies here from all our sitting, okay? From all our computer work, all those tech guys out there. I know you're on there, okay? We're trying to open up that body, okay? So we're going to start that timer. Go ahead if you haven't started. Nice and easy. If it's hard on the arms to get up there, you can bring it halfway down, but I would like those arms to come up nice and high. Reach it up, lean that body forward. I'll show you from the side. Bring it a little closer. Boom. Good. Remember, we're doing all these for a minute here. Almost there. It's a rough minute, okay? So if you're very analytical and you're keeping time on me, sorry, but sometimes it might be a little bit more than a minute. Sometimes it'll be a little less. Get a couple more seconds here. And good. All right. Shake it out, shake it out. If you want to get a quick sip of water, feel free. Now is a good chance to do it, okay? I'm going to get one also. All right. So our next one, we're going to focus on a little bit more on the inner hips groin area. Okay. Very similar to the last one we just did. Okay. It's going to be kind of a lunge movement, but we're going to go to the side. Okay. So as I step to the side, I'm going to keep this leg straight, just kind of lean over. So I should feel a little bit of a stretch in that groin that's planted. So this leg here, I'm going to step in. Okay. Really kind of leaning it in. So if you want to make this a little bit more advanced, okay, you can also reach for the opposite leg. Coming up, going to the other side. There we go. So go ahead. If you haven't already started, begin now. This motion, okay? If you can't use the hands, that's okay. Step to the side. Open up those legs. Good. Hopefully everyone is able to do this motion, okay? And if anyone at any time has like questions or comments on any of these exercises, feel free. I'll kind of leave my email here and you can always ask me, okay? I'm open to any questions. any fitness advice, any nutritional stuff.
Hey, Noble, quick question here.
Yes.
So, are these considered warm-up exercises, or is the warm-up something we should have already done prior to doing this sort of stuff?
This is very integrated with warm-up. So this is something that is kind of a warm-up thing, okay? So you don't have to do any warm-ups beforehand. If you're still going, go about 5 more seconds here.
Cool.
But this is very integrated with our warm-up. So there's no warm-up needed. We are warming up our body while moving it. Sometimes if these movements are a little bit more advanced and good, relax there. These movements are a little bit more advanced for you. You know, it is going to be considered a little bit on the workout side, but it's very warm-up oriented, okay? Because like I said, we're only mainly focused on mobility, flexibility, things like that. So we're not doing anything too crazy, okay? So our next one we're going to do, okay, we're going to kind of stand here a little bit here, especially for our older folks, okay? We are going to work a little bit on our balance, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift my side leg up and bring it back down, okay? So as I do this, I don't want to turn my body, okay? I want to keep my body square and I want to lift it to the side. I'm going to feel my hip activate, okay? It's not going to go any farther than this, okay? Especially if you're not that flexible, you might only go like this far out, okay? But we're only going to just do, we're going to alternate each side, boom. And you're going to come out to the other side, okay? So go ahead, when you're ready, go ahead and stand up. 1 minute here, and we're going with the motion. Here we go, boom. Try to avoid too much lean, okay? If you have a little bit of a lean, that's okay, but we don't want to do it too much. We want to try to stand upright best we can. You are going to feel your hips working here, okay? Boom. Try not to let your feet turn out, okay? Keep them parallel to the ground. Boom, right there. And then to the other side, good. You might start to feel this burn, okay? So this one will feel it for sure. Okay, we got about 15 more seconds here. I'm glad some people got their videos on. That's great. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, shake out those legs. Good. Okay. So the next motion we're going to do, this is called a knee driver, okay? So very similar to our overhead reach here. We're going to step back just like this, and we're going to just pick up that knee, driving it up. And I'm just going to do one side, okay? So we're going to just do one side just like this for a minute, and then we'll switch to the other side, okay? So notice I get my hands motion. It's almost like I'm in a running, walking mode here, okay? So go ahead, start that one side, 1 minute here. Good. Remember, you're only gonna do one side first and then we're gonna switch it, okay? So keeping it going. I'll tell you when to switch. Nice job, nice job. Really driving that knee up, good. Keeping that heel planted. If you want to shorten your steps, if it starts getting hard, that's okay. Really push here. And let's switch legs. Other side. Same thing. Nice job. Okay. If it starts getting tough, shorten up your step. That's totally fine. Okay. But we do want a little bit of a step back action here. Okay. Making sure we step back just a little bit. We got about 15 more seconds here. Really kind of push through. Might be burning a little bit. And good. Relax. Shake it out. Shake it out. If you need a little bit of water, feel free. Okay.
Another
Hopefully
question.
people can still hear and see me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quick question, Noble.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going this knee action, right? Is it
Yeah.
recommended that you do left leg and right hand, or is it like left leg and left? It's opposite hand and leg, right?
It's opposite hand and leg. Yes. Just as if
Cool.
you were walking, you walk in this kind of stride motion.
Mhm.
Okay, so we do want the opposite hand to come up
Got it.
as we drive that knee. So you don't want to be parallel, because when you naturally walk, it's going to be right here.
Cool.
Okay, so we want to keep that natural walking motion. So just remember when you're doing these, boom, it's the opposite hand that's coming up.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So our next movement here, okay, so for those, you should have like a chair or some kind of bench here, okay? And all we're going to do is we're going to sit down and stand up, okay? So when we sit down and stand up, my biggest thing here is we don't want the heels to elevate, okay? We want to keep most of our weight on our heels. So I'll even turn it a little bit at an angle and bring it up here. All right, so I'm here. So all I'm gonna do, we don't want to use our hands on our legs, feet, okay? I'm gonna kind of bend my hip back, sit down, and I'm just gonna stand up, okay? That's just gonna be the motion. I want you to take your time doing this. We are gonna do it for a minute, okay? So when you're ready, here we go. Boom, sitting, standing, God. You're probably gonna start feeling your legs work here. Okay. Sorry if I'm breaking up at all. Gotta make sure my internet's working better next time. Nice job. Ooh, we see some people with added weight out there. Children for added weight is always a good idea. Get them involved in this too. Physical activity is a generational thing. Don't think it's just for adults, it's for kids too. Almost there. 15 more seconds. Nice job, everyone. Doing good. If you need to slow it down, that's all you. Go ahead, slow it down. Take your time with it. Hope everyone else is able to do this. And good. Relax. Shake it out. Shake it out. This is a good opportunity that we're going to get some water. If you have your water, go ahead, drink a little bit, okay? We're gonna move on to our next one, okay? So probably feeling it in our quads here, okay? Maybe a little bit in our hamstrings, back of the legs, okay? So this one, next one, we're kind of focusing a little bit on the flexibility on the backside of our legs here, okay? So take your time with this. What you're gonna do is you're going to kick your leg forward and reach with your opposite hand. And I'm going to alternate. Okay. If your leg can't go up that high, that's okay. Reach for the knee. That's totally fine, but we want to feel a little bit of a stretch in our hamstring. So if you're ready and you're doing, go ahead and start. Okay, minute count here. Boom. If you can't reach there, go ahead. But we want to feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of the legs. Really force those knees up. You are going to feel your core and hip flexor working also. All right. Even though these are basic movements, you're probably going to get a little sweaty. That's okay. Sweat is our natural detox. Cleansing our bodies here. Good work, everyone. You're going to start to feel probably your quads feeling a little bit of a burn. That's totally okay. We've got 15 more seconds. Three, two, one, and relax. Good. Shake it out. Shake it out. Nice job. Okay, so this next last one, okay, before we do some stretching at the end, this is our final little exercise, okay? Because I don't want to push you too hard. I want you guys all to come back next week, okay? So right here, we're going to do what's called an ice skater, okay? It sounds fancy, but it's nothing too crazy. All I'm having you do is you're going to step to the side, and you're going to step your foot back and then touch your foot. Okay, if you can't touch your foot or it's tight on the low back, reach for the knee. Okay, and we're going to alternate this side here. So notice my foot kind of goes around my body as I do this. And if you can reach down all the way to that foot, that's great. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so if you're started, go ahead. We are going to start that timer. Okay, take your time. If you're starting to feel winded or a little exhausted, catch your breath a little bit and just jump back in when you're ready. Okay, nice job, everyone. Doing good, doing good. I'm seeing people work here. So if you start feeling some ache in the low back, don't reach as far down, okay? Reach for the knee, okay? We don't want to get too much low back pressure, okay? Because right now the strength's not all there, so just reach for the knee, and then maybe next week try for the foot, okay? Nice job, man. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and good, okay? Nice job, everyone. That is kind of our little workout routine, okay? We will probably add some other stuff as we progress, okay? Now we're just gonna do some light stretching, mainly the muscles that often get very tight, okay? So the main muscle that really gets tight, and especially for a lot of us are very sedentary, it's gonna be our hamstring, okay? Hamstring tightness can cause low back pain. So if you're walking and you start feeling low back pain, it's because a lot of the times either our hips and glutes or our hamstring, majority of the time, it's because it's tight, okay? So to avoid a lot of that low back pain, we're just gonna do a quick stretch here. So if you have your chair, you're just gonna have it out in front of you. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my one leg up, okay? I'm gonna make sure my toes are pointed, okay? And we're all gonna just do this together, and it's gonna be not a very much of a hold, but a pulse. So I'm gonna reach down 1, 2 seconds and come on up, okay? I'm just gonna do that for about 30 seconds here, okay? So if you're ready, go ahead, start that motion, hold about 2 seconds, release. You should feel a stretch in your hamstring, even in your calf, lower leg, okay? Nice and easy. If you can't reach for the foot, that's okay, okay? We'll work to it. Reach for your ankle or sock line, whatever works. We just want to feel that stretch. We don't want to over pull it there, okay? Give me about 15 more seconds here. And good. Let's go ahead. We're going to switch legs, okay? So now we'll do the other leg. Obviously, we're going to reach with the opposite arm. So if you're ready, go ahead and start. Sometimes one leg might be tighter than the other. Okay, that happens. That's a common thing. We don't have perfectly balanced muscles, okay? Or perfect evenness throughout the body, okay? Stress changes us. Good. Nice job. About 15 more seconds here. And relax. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I just want to congratulate you all. Thanks for being here and doing the workout if you did. And if not, that's okay. We'll have you do it next time, okay? Like I said, right now we have about 3 more minutes up. If you do have any questions, this is your chance to ask me questions. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be about this. If it's any general health or fitness questions, this is your chance now. Go ahead, throw them out there. You can even throw them in the chat if you want, and I will see if I can answer it, okay? So any questions from anybody? So let me know, any questions for you guys? Got about 2 more
Here's
minutes.
a question, Noble.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
Would your recommendation be to do this short capsule of exercises you showed us on a daily basis? Or is it okay even if it is done at a sort of reduced sort of frequency, higher interval, like maybe every 2-3 days or a week, or is it okay, I guess is the question. I guess the more you do it, the more frequent you do it, the better, but is it okay still enough to have a different space out if that's all we're sort of able to?
So my suggestion, okay, if you're a very active person and this was not that bad or pretty well, it can be done daily. For those of you who are new to a lot of this movement, you might not want to do it daily. If anything, we're going to focus maybe just doing it 2 to 3 times a week, giving it a day space. For all of you who did this, maybe see how you feel tomorrow and see how that body feels, because you could have a little bit of leg or muscle soreness. Okay, that's going to be common. Okay, you probably did movements that you normally wouldn't do, so that's the thing. You might even feel very great, okay, the next day if you're dealing with a lot of tightness. So if tomorrow you're feeling good, that could be an indication that you could do it daily. If you are feeling some soreness, you might just want to slow it down, maybe 3 times a week or 2 times a week, and then slowly progress. The last thing I want you to do is try to go full blown on this and deal with a ton of soreness or fatigue. Okay, I'd rather you start off slow, see how you feel, and just kind of work your way up, kind of progress yourself. Okay, so maybe the first week, do it twice a week, see how you feel. Okay, next week, maybe do it 3 times. Okay, obviously, you can even consider the time we do it together as once. Okay, and then you can do it one more other time throughout the week, whatever works for you. Okay, so it's up to you. Feel out your body. You guys know your bodies more than anybody else. Okay, so if you are feeling with some soreness, my only suggestion, just make sure you drink plenty of water. Feel free to do some of that hamstring stretching if that's the one that's pretty tight. I will show more stretches as we continue on. That way, if you have any tightness in your calves, things like that, I can always show you things, other stretches that might help and be beneficial for your guys' walking. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had one. My question is less about kind of the workout. Firstly, thanks for the workout. It was great. So I'm, as you mentioned, IT professional, so spend a lot of time sitting down, working on my PC. And then I have a bad habit of snacking through the whole day, right? So
yeah.
So one question is, are there any exercises, any stretches you'd recommend, kind of, 2-minute or 5-minute stretches you'd recommend for, when you have time between meetings? And the second thing is, any recommendations on snacks that are healthier than usual?
Yeah. So for most of you IT guys, obviously the main thing in between is going to be kind of like this area of your body and your hamstring. Okay, so you can, obviously if you have like a couple minutes in between, it's okay for you to, do this motion here for about 2 minutes, and then even just taking your chair and doing our little hamstring reach here. Okay, those are going to be the 2 main ones that you would want to do, because those 2 areas are going to be the first things to get really tight, especially if you are seated. Okay. And then my suggestion for snacks wise, if I'm going down the list here, okay, so ideally, your first choice of a snack should be maybe a whole fruit, or even some healthy non-salted nuts. Okay, those are kind of the 2 options there. You obviously can do both, that's totally fine. But those are going to be more, the whole food side. If you want to go a little bit more, bars and things like that, my personal suggestion, something I use often, is a Cliff Bar. Yeah. It works totally fine. If you don't want to deal with the high amounts of sugar, you can always do a Kind Bar. That's another option there. But I would limit yourself, especially the Kind Bar, Cliff Bar, to only 1 a day. Okay, that would just be your full amount of that snack. I wouldn't recommend more than 1 of those bars daily. Fruit wise, obviously you can go a little bit more with the fruit. I don't mind fruit. I would like most of you to get at least 2 servings of fruit. Antioxidants amount, the nice amount of fiber. in it, that's all going to be very beneficial. So, fruit's going to be probably the go-to. My personal choice I really like is banana. Very easy. It's easy for me to carry, take to work, things like that. So I'll do a banana a lot of times, and I'll do blueberries. That's kind of like my two go-to. I don't really care what fruit. You can really do anything, as long as you don't coat it with anything. It's not like yogurt covered blueberries. Let's make sure just try to stick with the whole fruit best you can. If you can't do that, nuts are always an option. After that, you can think into the bars and limit yourself to one a day on those.
Sounds good. I'll cut back on the OPD. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, any more questions here? All right, if we don't have any more questions, I just want to thank everyone. Thank you for joining. First church workout, I think it's a success. I want to thank you guys. Sorry for